Welcome back to Love, Hope, and Faith. I'm Heather Murdock, and my guest today is Mary Lisa Patton, substance abuse counselor, right? And we were talking off camera, you know, it's so important. People, I'm sure you know people too like this, that they become believers, or maybe they've been walking with the Lord for a long time, and they have not experienced the freedom from hurts, habits, hang-ups, addictions, whatever it may be, issues that's promised in the Bible. And so what I'm passionate about, and I know you are too, through programs like what you're going to share with us today, or Celebrate Recovery, or other programs like that that are Christ-centered, is that we're learning how to apply God's Word to our life. And that's a huge thing, to learn how to apply the principles to live a healthy lifestyle, you know, to live a lifestyle of freedom in Christ. So, you know, it's all about getting equipped. You know, for sure. So, So you had your deliverance, or your healing from your eating disorder. And then what drew you into being a counselor? Is that what drew you in?
Well, I had been before. Before, I think it started first when before my mother passed away, and I went to the facility she was at, and I saw the man sitting there with like cigarettes and just the pain, the brokenness and the pain. That's when my heart started building for compassion. So that was starting at 14. So when I went to college, I studied psychology, and I was, you know, again, I started college. I think it's interesting because you want to help others, but at the same time, you're trying to figure out, you know, how your own journey at the same time. And I always had a heart for women, and I had been working at the Balboa Bay Club in college, and I had some freedom from my eating disorder. Like I didn't have the complete freedom that I have today, but I wasn't like anorexic anymore. And I wasn't, you know, bulimic, but I still was binging and restricting, and that's the freedom that I was delivered from 4 years ago. But through that whole process, I was working at the Balboa Bay Club and Resort, and I saw women drinking and getting drunk, and I saw the emptiness inside. My heart, again, started to grow with compassion, and I was studying psychology at Vanguard University, and I was, one day when I was working, and I knew that I needed to change a job pretty soon, I saw a pamphlet about, you know, imagine a woman who's confident and believes she's beautiful and all this stuff, and it was about a new treatment center opening up down the street, and they were looking for kind of like a support staff, mental health. They weren't. I called, and they were. The thing is, I thought, oh, someday, but little did I know that day was going to be
turning point. Yes, absolutely.
So that was when I was first exposed to it, and of course, you know, as I continued along, more was revealed. But I think once I had that freedom, when I actually got to, because when I had took that time of absence from there, going to the treatment center, my work knew, and the director had 27 years of sobriety, and I got to come back, and I got to be on both sides of treatment. So I felt like when I came
receiving
back,
treatment and then offering help or services.
I got to really understand and be more helpful, and then get promoted, and just kind of move up in that pace. You know, it wasn't substance abuse and addiction, and I know that's different, and I had tools to help that, but at the same time, I think addiction is addiction, and so I could really relate to the women, you know, because of that.
Because the addiction is the symptom of the problem, but the root is hurt that we've suffered from. And you know, and then the festering of that hurt, and then so then the symptom of the pain or the hurt can be alcoholism, it could be bulimia, it could be shopping, being shopaholic, it could be gambling, eating, whatever it is. Those issues, those are the surface things that we see, but the root is deeper. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it's like putting the drink down is the first step, and then you've got, you know, life and living life like that, and and so basically what got me into counseling recently, like these past 2 years, was just relocating and in private, you know, being able to, you know, as you move along the journey, you get to, you know, be in private practice. And then I had opportunity to do a group at the treatment center, and they also had asked me to do a little bit of clinical outreach. And kind of as I was there, it's a great program in Sacramento. I guess being a believer, just thought it would be great to have a, you know, faith-based track, and we got a therapist hired on who could be the counselor, and we just kind of started talking about it, and so now we.
So this is one track of the services you offer.
Yes.
And what's it called? Let's hold up.
So so it's called Valley Recovery Center of California.
You want to do it? Okay. Good.
Okay. So it's Valley Recovery Center of California, and it's a place of help, hope, and healing. It's in Sacramento, and we're a medical detox, residential, partial hospitalization program, and intensive outpatient program for chemical dependency and co-occurring disorders.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful that you're offering that.
Yeah.
So how does the program work?
So, well, basically, you can call you can get a free assessment, or you can come in for an assessment, and, we take most insurance, so, or you could do self-pay, and you come in and you get assessed, and then you're, connected with, if you need to detox, we have doctors and nurses 24/7 that will help monitor that process from any type of drug. We can do all drugs, and they can detox, and then we'll have some, group counseling and individual counseling. We incorporate yoga and, a little bit of exercise. They get to go to the gym, to help that the holistic approach, process. Yeah. So that's kind of in general, and they can, stay 30 days is usually the average stay. Sometimes people can step down to PHP and IOP. Usually when you get a firm foundation, it's really good. They say 90 meetings in 90 days. And I remember that's something I did right when I got a treatment, and I think that was helped that strong foundation.
Yeah.
And, if you can stay at the program, that long, I mean, you'll never have to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
where's the biblical piece fit in?
Yeah, so we have a track. So it's called Celebrate Healing, and right here. So they'll still come in and get assessed, and they'll get some Celebrate Recovery curriculum material, like a Bible, and the first the newcomer book, and the first book, and they'll get to attend at least 2 Celebrate Recoveries during the week, and they'll get individual biblical-based counseling by a certified biblical counselor, Robin Pepper, and they'll get some groups that are focused on the curriculum. So it's called Celebrate Healing, but it's adapted by the Celebrate Recovery curriculum.
So but that's on site there. They don't have to go away somewhere else for a meeting. This is all during their stay there. Okay. So that's wonderful. So do you have men and women groups, or is this just for women?
Well, it's men and women. We have 48 beds. We're licensed for 48, and we have 36 beds. And so we have a men's wing, and a women's wing. So men and women.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is exciting. So Celebrate Recovery, so they're going to be going, so if they're there for 90 days, then when they get out, they wouldn't have completed the 12 steps by that time. So then you would refer them into a group outside of the
do a
facility.
Step study
okay,
and
step study. Good.
So give them a good foundation as they continue on their journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a part of a couple of step studies. As the viewers know, I'm the Celebrate Recovery Ministry leader for our area. At our church, and so to see these men and women, of course I'm with the women's groups, but to see these people go through the step study, which is literally working the steps, usually over a year time, right?
Right.
And oh my gosh, I've seen so much transformation.
Yeah.
So much. I mean, I've literally seen women come in, and Celebrate Recovery is not all for drugs and alcohol. It's for any kind of hurts, right?
Right.
And so you have people come in that, like this one lady I'm thinking of, who came in literally shoulders slumped down, head down, could not even make eye contact, so depressed, suffering from depression and so many other things for 30 years. 30 years.
Wow.
And to have her come in that first day, and just the process and the prayers that the women offered, and the support and the accountability and the sponsorship and working the steps, and literally today she is a bright, shining superstar for Jesus. I mean, she is so confident and serving and in love with life, and just, I know you see that all the time.
It's amazing.
It's so powerful.
Yeah, especially, sometimes when they come back, like before I had worked here at Valley, I was alumni liaison in Southern California, and just to hear the recovery is amazing. And then at the same time, if they're still struggling, just to have a place to come back or reconnect, So I think that's what, like, that's the exciting part about working recovery, is seeing people's lives change. And
that's the gospel.
It is.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think treatment a lot of times can be very important because it facilitates that process, and we don't always know how. And I know for me, it facilitated that process of freedom because it gives you tools to use that you don't otherwise no. Sometimes you're just in a
Exactly.
place and you're just like, well, I want to get sober, but I don't have the tools to do it, or I don't know how, or I'm trying on my own and I just can't do it on my own anymore.
Exactly. And when we're living in fear, we tend to go back to the things that we know.
Right.
So we'll attempt to walk out in sobriety, and then something happens, some life crisis happens, or
Right.
we become overwhelmed by fear, and then we
Right.
go back to our addiction, or
Right.
go back to the bad relationship, or go
Right.
back to the dysfunctional whatever.
Right.
And so to learn, because we need those tools, like you're saying, that's
Right.
what helps us keeps us moving forward.
Right.
So how can someone find out more? You have a phone number on there.
Yeah, so they can call Valley Recovery Center at 888-989-9690. So again, that's 888-989-9690. They can visit us on the website at www.valleyrecoverycalifornia.com.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And so that's it started already, right? This new track, this
Yeah.
you're calling it biblical or Christ-centered
Yeah,
track? Okay.
like faith-based. Well, it's called Celebrate Healing.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's a faith-based track.
And so that's already started, and people enrolled into it and everything.
Yeah, well, I guess we have our first person coming today if all goes well.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I'll be
so it's
praying for you
exciting,
guys.
yeah.
I'm excited. And actually, Robin Pepper is going to be my guest next week. And she's actually a licensed therapist as well,
Yeah.
right? And so she's going to be sharing her story. She has a very powerful testimony.
She does, yeah.
She was a foster, I think she was in the foster care system growing
Right.
up and had a lot of hurt from that. But God's used all that for a lot of powerful
Right.
things. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary Lisa.
Oh,
Our
thank you so
time's
much
up.
for having
It's so good to
me.
have you.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.